Good evening and welcome to Snack Chat. I think we've got somebody in the room with us. Hang on a second. Let's see. Oh, no. They've run away. Don't run away. So, let's see who joins us. If anybody. If not, I can go back to bed. Oh, hello. Hi, Shiny.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good, I'm glad to hear it. So, Smeg was here, but he seems to have run
Yes.
away. So, I don't know what
Yes.
he's doing. Smeg, you ran away. Run away. So, I'm just looking to see if there were any questions. A question, sorry if it's a bit stupid, but in Siege, if you want to use your Max Scouts in a Scouts March, isn't more opportunity to use Wendler Shaman with the right gear? Okay, I am of the opinion, and it's very difficult to test this, okay, because Siege isn't a fixed item. Do you know what I mean? It's not something that you can say, oh, there's this many troops of this sort. What's the outcome? The marches vary, the mix up of the numbers vary. I think Plarium did it deliberately so that people couldn't test it properly. But the opinion seems to be that Ubba and Rain, even if it doesn't have the gems and runes for Scout, are better than Wendler and what's the name of the and your hero with Scout gear on.
Yeah.
So what the bigger players are doing now that they've got 36, 37, 38, 39 and 40 is they're upgrading their gems to be all troop types. And that covers them for Scout and the marchers. And they're just putting the rune in for their main troop type. So, and I, having done that myself, that seems to work quite well on the Scout marchers. But remember, we've only got a tier 4 siege tower, so not tested it against the purple meanies. Hi, Smeg. Hello, Gyra Cat. I'm so glad you're here.
Can you hear me?
Yay!
Yes.
Yay!
Oh my god. She has a voice.
Awesome.
There's a voice.
There's a voice. It lives. It lives.
Oh, thank
Okay,
you, daughter.
well,
Oh, dear.
I can't do anything about that part of it, but Jarikat and I had a little bit of a session to sort out her sound problems, and my goodness, did they need sorting out.
They've been sabotaged. I blame Cohad.
You can't blame him for everything. don't give him. I was going to say, don't give him the pleasure. He's not that effective. So, let's see who just joined. Hey, Eeyore, hello. Have you got voice?
Hi
Eeyore?
guys.
Hi. Awesome. Good. So, I was just answering a question. Oh, help. Oh, that music. And I'm just getting something ready so we can have a look at it. A couple of things. Were there any other questions, by the way? I saw Shiny's question earlier, and I think I've answered it correctly. If anybody has a different opinion, then by all means share their opinion. But as I say, if you've got maxed Ubba, maxed Rain, and preferably Ubba gear upgraded somewhat, then you are better off using that gear than using Brodier and Wendler. Well, Brodier, there you are. It comes to me when I'm not thinking about it. Hello, Ozzy. Oh gosh, Ozzy's muted everything. So we can talk about him quickly. You know that Oz. Oh, he's back. He can hear us. Shh. He can hear us now. Shush. Hello, Ozzy.
Evening.
Good evening. Okay, so couple
Oh,
of
you
things.
are funny, you lot, aren't you?
Funny ha ha or funny peculiar?
Well, hang on a minute. I'll toss a coin to decide.
Okay, I'm
Hi,
just.
guys.
All
Hi.
right.
Right, yeah.
So,
Good
I don't.
morning, the old Crimbo mate.
That's me. Okay, boss, come on.
Okay, no,
Sorry, boss.
I'm letting you chat on. I'm letting you chat on. I am recording this, so just so you know.
Uh,
Damn.
are you ready, Smeg? Few F's and Jeffs.
That doesn't bother me. Okay,
Talking
so
of which, boss,
yes.
I discovered one of your, if not early one, if not the first one, of the YouTube blogs you put on. Hello, I'm Lynn.
Yeah, but that's for English
I'm
learn.
your English teacher. I think I,
I
I,
keep meaning
I
to
think
take those
I
out.
think I'd rather have the scary eyes.
Well, I know you're from Yorkshire, so I have to speak slowly.
Now that's cheeky. That is cheeky. It's not my fault you're a southerner, is it?
Hey, I'm from Midlands, okay? I'm not a southerner. Okay, so,
If you're
Shiny.
south of Leeds, you're a southerner.
Shiny, you can only upgrade your gear, as far as I know, to checkpoint 9 at the moment, to level 9. But no, just as high as you can go without going insane. I'm not a fan of gear upgrades. I think they stink. I think Plarium are borderline evil for introducing gear upgrades like they have, and I've seen too many people really upset, including myself, for having failed several times. So go as far as you're comfortable with, but definitely take it up to 3, which is a no gamble. You just have to have the right materials, etc. And then after that, I would suggest get lots of materials and then have a little go every so often. But I know people who've done it and they failed many, many, many times at level 9, but they've just kept going. I say it's up to you as a person. You know yourself how much BS you can put up with and how many
None.
times you can be called a failure without bursting into tears. So if you find yourself crying, stop, okay?
Is this Helmheim by any chance?
No, that's another thing you can cry about. But it's Helheim. You really need to take it to floor 9, floor 10, node
I
6.
can't get past floor 8, node 4.
Okay, you need to check your gear and your setup, and if it matches
I'm fully set up.
and
If anything, it'll be the points towards the characteristic things.
yeah, the statistic
A bit,
checkpoint.
yeah,
Yeah.
statistic things,
That the way you allocate the points to the
agility
chat.
and things.
Yeah, the way you allocate the points to your champion are very important. Don't overdo reallocating them, otherwise you will end up like somebody else in here with no second wind or whatever it's called, windy chance, whatever.
I've only got a couple left.
Yeah, so you do have to sometimes, when you get new gear, you just have to suck it and see, just put it on and hope for the best and just keep going until you get some more. Don't forget you can get them for runic coins in the seasonal store now, which wasn't the case
Yeah, I've
before.
seen that.
Yeah. There are better things you could spend your runic coins on, but you do need
Yeah,
to
I
get
know.
Helheim done. So, and the way I've seen a lot of the bigger clans go now, they have realised that people have been totally screwed over by Plarium, and they're no longer saying you've got to have completed Helheim. They're saying you must be on floor 10 and nodes 6, whatever. My personal thing is you've got to be doing it because it shows that you actually want to play the game and be successful in the game. If you say to me, I've given up, or move to
you're
another
that
clan.
sad that you've got to complete it. You have no friends. You have no life.
Well, I told you how I completed my first one and my second one. Both times I was in hospital with no friends, no life. So
But I'd have thought you'd have learned your lesson the first bloody time.
you don't want to know how many times I've done it now. I'm doing another one now, okay? I'm just
You're a
doing them.
glutton. That's all I'll
No,
say.
no, I just take my time. I've done the ones that really matter. And whilst I've got alts, I'll do them. Why not? I shove them in there and I let them run. And just occasionally click. It's like knitting for Paulette. I sit in front of the telly clicking.
Would you like to do mine then?
No, I wouldn't. It's against the rules of Plarium to do them for other people. Okay, you're not allowed
Who
to share
cares?
accounts.
Getting banned from Vikings is a much more better thing to look forward to than actually doing Helmheim. In
Okay.
fact, I painted a window ledge yesterday,
Yeah.
and I decided to watch the paint dry. That was more interesting.
Oh, I do
I've
hope
not
Plarium
seen
watched this.
Helheim's crap though. Oh no.
No, absolutely. No, I think it's one of the worst things they've any programmer has ever programmed as a game. It's just awful. I mean, it's not like when you're stuck down there, it's fun. It's not. It's boring, tedious crap. So, Plarium, if you're listening, well done. You're really, really showing your programming and gaming skills. Yay! And a couple of flashy little zoos does not make it an exciting game. Okay, anyway, you know what I think of Helheim. I've made myself very clear on it. However, you can't ignore it. You can't pretend it's not there if you want to be a fighter. If you do not want to be a fighter, ignore it. You don't need it for farming. You don't need it for hitting invaders or ghosts. You only need it for fighting. So it is a strategic decision to make if you want to be a fighter. Okay. So, rant over. The next thing after our rant about Helheim is, I'm presuming you've all been paying attention to what I posted on Vikings chat. And that is, yeah. So there was a rumour, and the Russian streamers seem to have come and done the business. I think Negan was a bit upset to get this message from a Russian streamer, not to be given it himself by Plarium. For some reason, Plarium are giving level 4 Russian streamers information about the game in advance, which they're not giving to level 3 English streamers. Make of that what you will. I can understand the giveaways not being as generous if you haven't got the following. But honestly, inside knowledge about the game, do one, Plarium. If you want people to stream and get people to join their stream, then why not give them information that makes people join their stream? I mean, honestly, it's a no-brainer to me, but Plarium has this Plari logic that I've spoken about before, as in, doesn't exist. It's just weird. Anyway, rant over. They don't tell me anything, but I do watch the other guys who stream, and I feel for them. Because Plarium go, we want X thousand likes, and we want X hundred followers, X thousand followers, and X hundred likes, and it's got to keep going up, going up, going up. And yet they're not giving them the stuff that would make people follow them. That said, Negan says he's going to do something like our snack chat, but with Rhett. Ooh, that should be interesting. So we might get to hear the voice of blood, Rhett. They must all sound like that because they're all monsters. Okay, so the next seasonal store, as far as we know, we are going to get the first town skin patronage back. So if you missed out the first time and you like collecting everything, that's your time to get it. We talked about Fortitude last time. And don't forget.
I've got a question.
Go on.
On skins, boss. Sorry for jumping in, but you were on about the first skin, this Patreon. Do we actually need them? Do we actually need these town skins?
If you want to
we've
fight,
got some town skins already.
Yeah, if you want to fight,
and I only use one of them.
Town skins. When you use them, as you say, it makes no odds. Wear it, don't wear it. All of the bonuses you get from each town skin that you have apply all the time. Okay, so whether you're
Whether you're
wearing
wearing that skin or not.
it or not, you're confusing town.
Ah, right.
Right.
Ah, well, that's different.
Yeah. What you're doing is you're confusing
Right.
town skin and hero skin. Hero skin, you have to be wearing it. Okay. So if you've got the scout hero skin on and you go and play in Siege, it's pretty useless because one, it's attack, and two, it's only for scouts, and it's only valid when you're wearing it. So you want that other skin, trapper or whatever, if you're in Siege, and you need to look at your hero skin. What am I wearing? What do I want to do? Your town skin, you need to develop them, of course, and as you go up, you need to apply it once, I believe. I've heard different things, but I always apply it once, and then it doesn't matter. It is applied, and all the bonuses in there count whether you're wearing it or not. Okay?
Right, okay. Right, well, I've got some more work to do then.
Yeah.
I'm going to develop all those town skins then.
Well, if you bought them, you might as well develop them. Again, take
Well, I didn't. They're all on like level 1,
Okay, take
and I've
your
kept
time.
them like that because I'm not using them. I'm only using one skin. I don't even know what that is, but it was something to do with I think it was either melee health or it was something to do with like
Okay.
troops or something.
Okay.
I can't remember.
The one thing I would say, well, as I say, develop them, take your time, bit like Helheim.
Right.
Some of them are ridiculously difficult to develop, but they're, you need to do stuff that you do in the game to develop them. So I don't think you need, I mean, unless you want to be the big bad wolf, take your time. Okay. And again, I know people who buy them and they've developed it fully within a week, but it's crazy stuff. I mean, it's click, 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 gold, 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 kill, 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 whatever. So, it's a lot of clicking. So take your time.
Right,
but
okay.
as you develop them, keep checking. Always go and check your town skins. Do you need the first... Okay, do we need the first skin? I've just read it. Do we need the first skin? You have to decide what skins to go for. I'm not going to tell you, okay? The one thing I will say...
Okay, right. To follow on from that question, right, and from what you've just said there, you've shown us. I didn't know you could do that. So
No, I know. That's why I showed you.
So it's been well worth it. But to follow on from that question now, do we need that skin?
Okay.
Do we need that skin in that bank of skins to develop? And I think the answer probably now is yes.
Okay. All of
Even
these
if you're not going to use it.
all of these town skins, including the ones that you started with in the game, you should be developing anything that's in your palace under town skins, okay? Because they all give bonuses. Again, it's very much...
I get that now. That now.
It's very much...
But again, I'm following on to the ones which are coming up through
right, and that's what I'm not going to
seasonal
tell.
Award things.
I'm not going to tell you what skins to
Brilliant.
buy. I am not going to tell you what skins you need and what skins you don't need. You know your account. You know what you want to do in the game. Look at what bonuses they give you. Remember, you have to develop it. Look what development's needed. Think about whether you can be bothered or if you can do it within a certain amount of time, and then make your decision. I will say there is one town skin coming up. Not this next one, I don't think. The one after, called the Peace skin. And that one, I think everybody will want because it's a defensive one. It's the first really defensive one. There's one other that came out. I can't remember what it was called, but it was very much aimed at Siege. And that's one that's worth going for and developing. But I can't remember what it was called. You need to make that decision, okay?
Did that Siege was it for total troops by any chance?
It was for all sorts. Defense while attacking, offense while attacking, defense while defending, offense while defending, or something like that. I'd have to go into my main account, and I haven't got it on this PC, so I'd have to do that. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. No, that's fine.
Town
answered the
skins,
question, thanks.
yeah, town skins are very much a personal thing, but there are players out there who get every single one because they are like that. And I happen to have one of those in my house. Okay, the next thing is Black Friday packs. Well, if you've noticed, it's really strange, because I do say Plarium are greedy, and I do believe that they are greedy. But if you go into the bank packs, have you looked? There's absolutely nothing in there.
No.
And that has been the case for the whole week. Now, my theory is we're getting spanked for not putting up with that evil CVC change. Okay, I think somebody in development's gone, well, stuff them. They don't like my changes. They're not going to get any packs. But other people are saying that they're preventing people from accidentally buying packs before Black Friday. Black Friday's coming. Thanksgiving is coming. So
When is it? Black Friday.
well, have a look. Black Friday packs are going to arrive, according to the Russian streamer, between the 22nd of November and the 1st of December. Okay. They're also going to bring back Plunderer for 322 days. It is half price, but only buy it if you intend to play for another year and you really, really want to be fast forever for that whole year. There'll be no slowing it down once you've got it. It's just zoom, zoom, zoom. Which can be nice, but it can also be a pain. And Plunderer. It's the one that speeds.
What is it?
It's the one, you know, when you see those troops going across the map in about a second, that's Plunderer. It speeds your troops up. Okay. It is actually it's an item you can buy in subscriptions, and it's called the Plunderer.
Yes.
Okay,
yes,
this one, yeah, and it speeds your march speed goes up to 2,500%, and your troop capacity 3,500%, which means that a maxed account or a biggish account like mine can put 10,000 troops on a tile and clear it. Okay,
Right.
it doesn't speed it up, the clearing, but it means you use fewer troops, you risk fewer troops. Okay. And that's quite useful when you've got a tile hitter in Kingdom, because they tend to be going for the big numbers of troops on tile because they're trying to inflate their ego and their fighting stats. And if they can only hit 10,000 and waste a domain guard to do that, they kind of can't be bothered most of the time. But again, that is money, so up to you. It's just, that's what it means. Plunderer, robber. That's what they call it, robber in Russia. 322 days. So that's nearly a year of Plunderer for half the price. Okay. Normally you buy a 30-day subscription. I wouldn't buy the 7-day subscription, and that's $19.99. So this will be
buy any of them.
Yeah, well, exactly.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they're going to do something similar to any of these other subscriptions, bring out cheaper ones for a whole year. But there's also going to be some, let me see. In Northern Brotherhood, they're going to put more runic coins. 1, 7, 30 days. So again, I think that means when they say in Northern Brotherhood, and Northern Brotherhood is in here on your daily, weekly, monthly tasks. Yeah. So when you click on there and it says extra reward, so I think it's going to come in here. So you'd have to subscribe to Northern Brotherhood, and it looks like they're going to add runic coins into this part. So it's probably not going to be into the normal part that you get if you do your daily, weekly. Yeah, this is free. This is for playing, okay, and for doing stuff. Now, there is a problem with Northern Brotherhood. It can be useful. I mean, one, it costs. It can be useful if you do use it. Close. Sorry. So if you go to the monthly, for example, and you get your 100 here. Okay, to get that 100, you'll get the gold, you'll get the VIP points, okay, and down here you'll get more gold boosts, etc. But what you're doing is you're committing yourself to doing all this. Now,
Well, I do.
personally,
I do. I
well,
That's how I do a lot of my scoring
yeah, okay. That's what some
because
people
I
do.
concentrate on that monthly thing.
Yeah, okay. That is what some people do. In which case, Northern Brotherhood's okay for you, probably, if you want to spend
Well,
money in
I'm
the
not.
game.
I'm not. I haven't got Northern Brotherhood. I don't pay for it.
No, that's what I'm
But
saying.
I concentrate. I use that as a bit of a focus.
Yeah, okay. That's good.
So
That's good because you're getting these things. Now, what I
yeah,
would say is if you're tempted by Northern Brotherhood, but you don't normally go for this, then don't bother because what Northern Brotherhood does is it kind of ties you into doing all these different things, yeah, to get your 100 points. And, it starts off easy 15, 30, 45. Then you'll notice it jumps to 75.
Yeah.
So you've got to do 2 lots. Then it jumps to 100. So you've got to do 2 lots. So,
yeah.
you've got to really want to be in the game and clicking a lot to want Northern Brotherhood. For free to play
And not,
players, this
and not,
aspect of it, this bit here, it's very useful for free to play players, this bit. For
that's
not free
yeah,
to play
that's right.
players,
Yeah,
if people are tempted to join Northern Brotherhood, what you have to understand is that you don't get these automatically. You have to do all of this. And if you've paid for it, you kind of feel obliged to. So if you already feel you're spending enough time and money in the game, think twice before subscribing to Northern Brotherhood, okay? Because it's
I,
going to
I
drag
don't
you
I
into the
don't
game.
subscribe
No,
to it. I just use it as
you just use it for
a
this.
tool
Yeah.
to focus
Yeah, yeah, that's
because
good.
it helps me fill in the personal events.
Yeah.
That could be tricks of the gods or whatever it was, and all the other things
Mm-hmm.
as well come into it.
Yeah.
And also if there's a group event, sorry, clan event, or like TVC or something, you're doing the work, but you're getting maybe two or maybe three
Yeah.
benefits out of it.
Yeah.
So
No,
that's how I focus on it. So
yeah, that's good because you're using the game rather than letting the game use you, and that is a
yeah,
trick.
yeah.
That is a trick in this game, I tell you. Play the game, don't let the game play you. That's what I always say. Okay, so then on top of that, new balance of long lived. I think that means the the long lived achievement.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that means they're going to increase. They're going to buff the awards for it
Oh.
because they're a bit crap at the moment. Now I don't know if they're going to buff them retrospectively. It'll probably annoy some of the longer lived members of Vikings, but even if they do it from now on, it's better than nothing because at the moment it's like 1% on learning and something else I can't remember, but it's not very sexy, considering it's one of the most difficult things to actually get. Now, to get long lived, it's not about how long you've been in the game, it's how long the game's been on. So there are some people who have a dedicated device that they never switch off. And I know that because somebody confessed that that's exactly what they had done, which is really sad. But anyway, that's personal choice. I again think that's the game playing you if you start buying a device just for Vikings. I mean, it's going a little bit too far. Okay, the other thing is more reinforcement in fortresses. Now that says question mark. It could mean that we can put more troops into the fortresses. Probably it'll be for the level 5 siege tower and the level 6 siege tower because people are getting smashed by the purple meanies and the jaundiced troops. Okay. Top boosts in Helheim store. Don't know what that means. But maybe they'll mean that you can actually buy the boosts, the boosts that you get in Helheim. Maybe you'll be able to buy them. But Helheim store to me, yeah, to me Helheim. Oh, I'm gonna have to go in there, aren't I? This is to me the Helheim store, and currently,
I'm going. Bye.
currently all you can do in Helheim store is buy this stuff materials. Now, if they're saying top boosts in Helheim store, maybe they mean they're going to port the 500% and the march size 1,000% boosts in here, but I would think it's going to be pretty expensive if they do. Don't worry, I'm leaving Helheim now. I'm not doing Helheim this night. I am getting out of here. Okay, and 15 levels of AOW. Do you know what that means?
No.
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 Art of War. 15
Oh.
levels. Goes up to 10 at the moment. If they're going to take it up to 15, it's already huge at the top end. God knows what it's going to be. So I don't think we need to worry about that for a while. So Unity of 3, Art of War, they're probably going to buff those and make them even bigger for the bigger players, which will make the bigger players even bigger and more powerful. And we'll be running behind going, I can't keep up. I can't keep up. Okay, so that's what this has come out as. Any questions? And it does say here possible. These things here are going to happen. These are possibly going to happen 9th of December, which sounds like there might be an upgrade on the 9th of December. Who knows? Palace 60, here we come.
Well, that'll probably sound about right because don't they start mucking around with psycho snowmen?
Oh, yeah, the snowmen will be here. Snow is, yep. Don't forget what you promised. You're going to help me with the turkeys. My idea.
So that'll be a major upgrade, and then 3 days trying to get it set right.
Very possibly. Now, remember, last Christmas, the Christmas before, I think, they did lots of Furies. I'm hoping they won't do that again. For our
Oh
clan,
God, yes, they did.
yeah, for our clan, not going to happen because it's Christmas and they can do one. But, if people want to do that, that's up to them as an individual. But as a clan, I will be saying, yeah, just do what you want, guys. I'm going to be
I'll be on
celebrating Christmas, not by playing
all by
Vikings.
myself.
All by myself.
Oh God! Hello, my name is Lynn. I'm your English teacher.
Just quickly
You
before we
behave
move on
yourself.
to a
Yes, Meggie.
subject,
Yep.
the long-lived one. Now,
Yeah.
there is something that I noticed before we even had these achievements,
Uh-huh.
uh, and that is that people who run the game on a PC can leave it, well, used to be able to leave it logged in. I
Yes,
remember
I do.
having a couple of people that were basically constantly logged in, for some of them were 24 hours a day with their account, and that would help. So if you run a PC, that's an easy way to do the long lived.
Already do.
Alternately, the other thing that I have noticed, depending on certain mobile devices, I got a Galaxy S9 here that seems to do something different to the rest of them, where if I've got the game going, it will black out the screen, but the game's still running in the background. So it's like locks the screen, which is something the others don't do. And it also reduces your battery your battery usage as well
Yeah.
for your mobile.
Yeah. You do have to make sure on your mobile, if you want to close the game, that it is actually closed. It's a bit like Discord. It'll run in the background. On the PC, if you don't have the game open and visible, it will close it down automatically, by the way, unless you're running Nox or another emulator. So you need to have it on
No,
a
you're
screen.
right.
Okay. So, but yeah, there are ways around getting, these people they've got like long lived 10. I very much doubt they've been playing the game for all that time. If they have, they need to go and get a little bit of help, I think. Okay. Now, when I'm not going to mention any names, okay, but I'm going to explain What happens when you leave a clan? Okay. When you look at the competitions, you're looking at the announcements of events, and there are 3 different parts. You've got ended, which means you're too late to score, but you can have a look and see what you did score or what your clan scored. You've got soon to be active, which means you're too early to score, but it's coming and it will tell you when it's arriving. And you've got active, which are the competitions you're playing for points right now. So if you're in a clan now and it's active here, you can check your score. And if you know you've done something that should make points, resource, task completion, whatever the competition is, you can click and see how much you've scored. Now, if you notice you've scored nothing, it doesn't mean you're not in the clan. It probably means you joined the clan too late to score. Okay? So, in order to be in the clan in time to score, you need to be in a clan at the right time. For example, here on Fighting Invaders, you wouldn't be able to score because it's already been announced. The general rule is you have to be in a clan 30 minutes before an event appears in the soon-to-be active window. So for Fury, you would have had to be in the clan 30 minutes before the start of CVC, which is when it's announced. They call it in the window, and this is the window here. So you have to be in the clan 30 minutes before it turns up here. As Fury is announced on the Tuesday around the start of CVC, which starts at 1 a.m. CET, it would be best to be in the clan before midnight or about an hour before the start of CVC. And of course, you'd still not score in that CVC because CVC would already be in the soon-to-be active window. But if you leave it till later, you risk not being able to score in Fury either. Now, if you're already in the clan and CVC's been announced, but Fury hasn't, you've made a commitment to play that CVC in whatever way the clan's decided, either to win it or maybe not to play. And that is when the problem occurs. If the clan decides not to try to win that CVC because the other larger players have jumped out to join the Popholder clan, but their influence is counted towards the CVC draw, then you decide you want to do your personals, but you've been told not to score too much that CVC, so you're in a pickle. And if you then decide to leave the clan so as not to score for that CVC, but to get your personal competitions done, as soon as you leave the clan, you're out of Fury 2, because you can't come back for 24 hours, which means you won't score on anything. So when the chief says leave the clan before something's announced, you have to do it at the right time. Join the clan before the competition you want to play in is announced in the soon-to-be active window. And that's basically everything has to be done before it's announced. Then once you leave a clan, all bets are off. And it doesn't matter if you were in the clan when it was announced. It's not like being in any clan. It's like not being in any clan. And you won't be able to take part in any competition that's already been announced, even though you were a clan member when it was announced. Once you leave a clan, that's it. You're starting from fresh when you rejoin. And remember, there's that 24-hour period when you cannot rejoin the same clan. You can join another clan, or you can form a clan of your own, but you cannot join the same clan you left. Not for 24 hours. I would say if you're confused about when to leave, you should just ask, and that way you won't end up not being able to score in anything, or being stuck unable to score for your personal competitions. Even more important for the bigger players, when you jump out, if Fury has already been announced, you have already been counted into the Kingdom influence, but you will not be able to score for the Kingdom even though your influence has been counted in the Kingdom influence. And you can even lose points for the Kingdom if you do that and then you decide to go fighting or something. You're not making any points, but you're giving points to the enemy. Timing is everything. So to recap, you must be a clan member 30 minutes before a competition is announced in the soon-to-be active window. There's a list in the tips and tricks section that shows you when events are announced, usually. And of course, the one thing that really counts for a kingdom, Fury, is weird. KVK and KVKR are both announced after the first day of CVC, which means you can get some points for the clan in that first day. But Fury, just to throw you out, is announced on the day CVC starts. It seems that Plarium doesn't want people to hop clans. There are people who do it to try and manipulate the clan influence to give themselves some competitive advantage during a competition. And some definitely did that in the past when they didn't have this 30-minute rule. People were jumping out, waiting for the event to be announced and then jumping back in. And the clan would have a lot more influence than what they'd been matched against. But once everyone worked out how to do it, Plarium pulled the plug, which I can kind of understand. However, as usual, they've done it in a way that penalises smaller clans. The bigger clans and kingdoms are kind of big enough to absorb a few gains and losses. Doesn't really matter to them. But if somebody jumps or somebody joins a smaller clan at the wrong time, it can be the difference between a big tough opponent or a better matched opponent. As you know, I encourage people to jump between clans. I think it's a good way to learn new tactics, make new friends, get to know the kingdom a bit better, get your face known. But you've got to do it in the right way, and you've got to think about when to jump and when to come back. So if you want to play Fury but not CVC, and yet you want to play Home Gang, yeah, it means you want to have your cake and eat it. If we're playing Home Gang on a Sunday and CVC's already been announced, it basically means you're going to have to give up something. If you decide to play Home Gang and you jump out of the clan after Home Gang, you have to make sure you're jumping out after Home Gang on a CVC week when we don't really care about winning. Otherwise, your influence has already been counted towards CVC and you're not going to be scoring. It gets a bit complicated, so you do need to be flexible. You need to think about what you want to play, how you want to impact the kingdom or the clan, and you need to think about your influence points. For some of you, it doesn't really matter yet that much, but for some of you it really matters because you really impact the kingdom or the clan influence and you bring in a bigger opponent. Then if you decide you're not going to play for whatever reason, you've lumbered your clanmates or your kingdom with that dead influence. And don't get me wrong, the right kind of influence is not bad, but dead influence is very bad. Dead influence kills clans and it kills kingdoms. So don't be a DI player. Hi Killswitch, hello. Oh, he's muted. He's not talking to me. Okay, so jumping and joining. You've got to think, when is it announced? When is it called? What time do I need to be out? What time do I need to be back in? Okay. And if things happen, if you can't play, you can't play. That's that. But if you're planning it, try to plan it so that it impacts the kingdom or the clan in the least possible way. Or in the most positive way, if you like. Okay. I'll take it. That's a yes. Now, the other thing, what have we done? Townskins, jumping in and out of clans. I'm sure I had something else I wanted to talk about. Smeg and I are going to do a video for setting the stronghold. Okay. Smeg has some theories and we're going to test them out. But to do that, we kind of need to do it during a CVC, Smeg. So when we're actually doing it real and going to make points off it, I don't want to do a test run and lose points. I'm too precious with my time and my resources to do that.
Yeah.
Any other questions? Oh, sorry. Yep.
No, it sounds good to me.
Yeah. No, I think it'd be useful. I think some people are still confused about the new way. Oh, the new way. I knew there was something. Okay, so you will have noticed that CVC changed. Okay, so we had what I'm calling evil CVC. Yeah? And now they've brought in slightly less evil CVC. Oh, I've got a funny thing from Chrome. What's new? Don't know. Don't care. Don't tell me things I haven't asked you to tell me. Okay, so what I did, because I'm like that, I looked at the changes from this latest CVC. Okay, and let me share with you what I discovered. So bear with me a second. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if any of you have bothered to actually look, but we know how crappy the evil CVC was, don't we? Okay. Where they basically gave us 1% of what we had. Okay. So they dropped our points, our ability to score points, from 35,000 for transforming ale to 350. That's basically 1% of what we'd previously had. Okay, they did it across the board. On RSS, they dropped it to 6% of what it had been. On hitting invaders, they dropped it again. This was more difficult, but here you go, 3.75%, because it was EK and HK. Then ghosts, they dropped it to 4% of what it had been, so it was all a bit of a mess. Then here they dropped it to 1% for the troop killing, and this is meant, you know, the number of people who say to me, "This is a killing game. It's not Farmville." Well, you know, is it really? Because they just decimated that. They decimated the training, healing, and resurrecting, and even the influence. I didn't look at that before, so big shout out to the people who did. So they dropped that down to 10% of what it had been before. So basically they slaughtered us on what we had been able to score. Now they did reduce the checkpoints, but it no way compensated for this kind of reduction, and they increased they decreased the rewards as well. I mean, they basically just slaughtered everybody, and the checkpoints were ludicrously high. So everybody complained, and I mean everybody complained. Even people who'd been complaining about my complaining complained, which was joyful for me. Anyway, because I could see this coming. So what they then did was they went, "Oh, we're listening to you. Look, we've changed it." But they did not change it back. What they have done, they actually took the evil CVC and they gave us 50% more from the evil CVC. Okay, so from 350 they went to 700, 500 to 1,000. So they basically gave us another, they doubled it up basically. They doubled it up. And same with RSS. Same with a little bit. I'll have to scrape it across here. Sorry. Okay. Evil CVC. They did quite a job on this actually. So they buffed the killing invaders and ghosts. But what they didn't do, they didn't change killing. They didn't change training, healing, or resurrecting. No change at all. Okay. So for some reason they decided to keep these at this same, what I consider crappy number, especially when you consider that killing and training are now the same points. I mean, what's that all about? You know, what's the risk in training? None. What's the risk in killing? You get killed. It's crazy that they've done that. And in the influence in your palace and in the stronghold, they buffed it. Couple of things, they kept it the same. So it was 5 for knowledge. It's 5 for knowledge again from 1. But the other ones, they've just made it 5 across the board where it had been 20, 20, 10. Okay, so there's a bit of buffing and a bit of, now we're not really going to do anything. We're just going to increase it, but not to the point where it was. Now, this means that when you look at what they changed, you need to understand the change from the evil CVC might make Plarium look like the heroes they want you to think they are. But when you look at the old CVC, we're still decimated. So from the old CVC, we've got 2% of what we used to get, 10% of what we used to get. Yeah, 10%, 8%. It varies. 11.43%. It might be my math that's wrong there, but anyway, that's what the spreadsheet says. So, and that's from EK
You
and
created
HK.
that.
Sorry?
You created that spreadsheet.
Yes. And it probably could be done
Wow.
much better, but I'm
No,
not
no,
a
no, no.
spreadsheet expert.
I'm impressed.
I wanted to see what the changes were across from
Well,
where
yeah,
we
that's
were
absolutely disgraceful.
to where we are now. They've not even improved the
No.
rewards. Okay,
No, they
so no. And they still have got the checkpoints much tougher than they were. Not as tough as they made them. And the really weird thing, and I haven't got the numbers for this, but the personal checkpoints have been made easier. But the personal checkpoints, to get them, you need to win the competition. So to get those personal easier checkpoints, you need to win. To get the clan checkpoints, you need to grind and grind and grind. So again, for the clan, we need to think strategically. We need to think, are we going to win this CVC? Is it going to be worth our time and effort? In that case, we need to look at our opponent and make a rational decision. Personally, I don't want.
Suggestion. Can I make a suggestion?
Can I finish my thoughts first?
All right.
Okay, and then you can.
All right.
Yep. So I don't want to be the one to make these decisions. As I know, chiefs are meant to be, oh, do this, do that, do the other. But unless you want me to do that across the board, I don't want to be making these decisions. That's why you're all elders. Okay, I want people to say, oh, these guys are on at 3 a.m. Or these guys this is a dead clan, or this guy's active and he's going to train. Or, I want other people to be giving feedback and to say what they would like the clan to do, rather than me saying, Possum CVC, crazy Possum CVC, let's go Rabid, let's not play, let's play. It's tiring, okay, it's tiring. And it might be what chiefs are meant to do, but I said earlier, I'm a crap chief, so get over it. So input would be good. Input would be good on what you want to do in CVCs. Okay, what was your idea, Ozzy?
Well, my suggestion was we just bloody boycott it.
Well,
Tell them to
easier
show it.
said than done.
like the figures prove, CVC is not worth the hassle now. And I think unless you actually see it in figures like that, which backs it up.
This is
to me,
decision.
I don't think I'll waste my time or my energy
Okay,
or my electricity on CVC.
This is something the clan has to decide. Okay, I've shown you the figures.
I'm not saying to do it on my thought, my opinion,
no,
but I can't see any reason to play CVC.
Beastie.
Before it used to be KVK and KVKR.
Beastie, the Beastie. It's the Beastie. Everybody wants a Beastie, and
I've got several of them.
And it's the soul shards. Remember, you're not at the point where you're soul shard starvation. Okay.
But equally, boss, right? I need the VIP thing.
Yeah.
At level 12. But I've got more chance of having rumpy pumpy with Pope. Aren't I?
If you say so.
I
don't think so.
I'm not going to be able to get the like you say, it's not the personal scores, it's the clan scores, which are near impossible.
There's only one way we can get guarantee or hopefully guarantee clan personal scores, and that is to run Siege every CVC. And the clan scores will then come or not, depending on how we face the different Jotun troops, and whether the enemy is one of these mini clans with like 4 level 40 players. A clan like ours can't actually stand up against them, but it means we'd have to run Siege anyway and hope they gave us enough points to get the checkpoints, and we know we would lose. That's the sword of Damocles that traditional clans like ours are facing. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Okay. I accept that, but that's
we do it
actually
on a.
played
I don't.
into Plarium's
Okay. Yeah,
idea, isn't it?
but when we get the draw, that's when I think we should make the decision. We look at the draw, we look at what it might cost us in terms of troops and boosts, etc. We look at the potential for soul shards for the fighters, and we make the decision. Okay, we're going to do siege, we're going to get hammered, but we'll make the soul shards. We're going to do siege, we're going to win, we're going to go for the checkpoints and win. We're not going to win soul shards, we're not going to win CVC. Maybe we give it a break this week. But that's a decision the clan needs to make. And for the clan to make that decision, everybody's got to communicate. Because I don't want it, again, to be down to Zom or Kills to make those decisions for us. It's Apoff, it's Dondo, everybody who's above level 36 or everybody who's above level 33 really needs to put their tuppence in whether or not they think it's worth it for them. And there's also the strategic jumping, remember. So if you want to play a CVC where you pretty much got, ask me and I'll say, yeah, go over to Pioneer 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We've got everything but 6, and play there, and you can guarantee yourself a win because I know which ones are due a win and which ones aren't. So that you can play strategically for yourself, but make sure you jump at the right times. Okay. And the same goes if you want a CVC where you can go crazy and test your troops. Just ask me and you can join one of the Pioneer clans and do that, okay? Anyway, so...
I still think Plarium are taking the piss.
Plarium have always... Pissarium, they're sometimes called by other players. Pissarium.
But the
they've
thing
always
is,
done this.
by pandering to them, then, you've proven...
There's only one way to not pander to Plarium. They run this game and they will do what they want with it. Well, don't
boycott
play.
part of it. Make something redundant.
They won't. Yeah,
you don't use it.
Okay, the big players won't do it. They play regardless, and Plarium know that, and that gives Plarium the power. Us not playing, honestly, it's like a little blip in the ocean.
Well, no, I agree.
And however, the bigger players... It's like that video with the Russian. It's like that video. It's like that video with the guy laughing. Yeah, and they did this and they did that. And then they go to Facebook and ask what's in the ladder packs. That's how the game is, and we have to accept that, or we alter our behaviour, but do not think that by boycotting certain events it will have any impact on Plarium whatsoever. It won't. It will just be for our own mental health. Okay.
I'm not naive enough to think that they would.
Okay, well, a boycott to me means you're doing it for a reason.
CVC, the cancel CVC. What I'm saying is, for me, I'm now wondering. I've seen those figures, and they're absolutely atrocious. Okay, well done, by the way, for creating it. But there's absolutely atrocious done that. So, well, in fact, I'll tell you now, boss. I'm now made my decision that I don't think I'll be playing CVC.
Okay.
I don't mind playing everything else, but
yeah.
Unless there's and I'll keep in the clan just in case we've got one who isn't playing. We get an instant win, then great.
Okay,
but
that's where
convinced.
You might have a problem because you can't be in our influence if you're not going to play. This is the problem we've got.
Well,
no, you can't.
Okay, I think that's something you need to speak to Plarium about then.
Why, no, you do.
If Plarium absolutely desecrate all the scoring, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why should I get kicked out of the clan?
You're not being kicked out. You would be asked
to go. You know what I mean.
I know what you mean, but
then you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like when I say kicked out, I mean asked to leave.
Yes. Right? But that's a clan decision again. I'm talking as chief here. I will always do what's best for the clan. We can't afford dead influence. You would be dead influence. Now, that said, you could then join for the things that interest you. Okay, but you'd have to make sure you're not in for CVC. That's what I'm saying. Okay.
That screws up all your personal events, all the
No,
clan
doesn't affect.
events that you
Okay.
can go
Hello.
for.
Hello.
Once you
Doesn't.
start going out of plan, it knocks you out of kilter. You're
It,
3 days before you can start hitting planned
okay.
events.
Clan events, yes. Personal events, it doesn't affect them one little bit. Okay. And that's one of the good things about what Plarium's done with the Runic store and these personal things. I don't like them because they're a bit too intense if you try to do every single one, and it kind of drives you to, oh, Runic coins, I've got to do this. Runic coins, I've got. No, you don't. You just have to think, okay, I'll do this one because I can do it. I'm not going to do that one past 7 because it's stupid. I'm not going to do that one past 3 because it's so mean it's not worth it. You have to decide that for yourself. Personal events aren't affected. But yes, of course it would affect your KVK, your Fury. But you can't expect the clan to carry you because you don't want to play CVC. If the clan decides not to play CVC, that's a different thing. You can put your case forward, but please
Which
don't
was
think.
what? I'm sorry. Hang on a minute. I thought this is what I was doing.
No, you're
I
saying
was
what you
telling
want to
you one
do.
of the
We
best things
don't.
would be to boycott them.
Yeah, you're
That's what
saying
I'm
that.
saying.
Yeah, you just said I've made my mind up. I'm not playing
Yes.
CVC.
Yeah.
Okay, but
Yeah. Correct.
okay, then you'd have to make that decision. Okay, I'm not playing the CVC. I'll jump out. Look where Mini Parp is. He's up in a corner
Oh no, what
sulking.
mini
Yeah,
parties.
yeah, but he's jumped out of the clan. Okay, he's not going to be dead weight. Look what Gyra Cat did. She jumped out the clan. She's not going to be dead weight. Slight mistiming, but it was a good. It was. She had the best intentions. Thorn jumped out the clan. Not playing. Not putting his dead weight in. You've got to think of
Well,
the
it
clan
belongs in
before
OK
say,
too
yeah,
anyway.
yeah, but he's not going to. He wasn't counted in the influence. Okay, he wasn't counted in the clan influence for Shine, and he won't be counted in the clan influence for Sarnet. He's doing his own thing. He's getting his gear, but at no point did his influence put dead influence into the kingdom or any clan. That's what you've got to think like. Okay. So you can't make a unilateral decision. I'm not doing this, but you guys are going to have to carry me. No, 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 no. That's not how it works. We make clan decisions and then we act on those. And we either stay or we jump or whatever. And then we come back in 24 hours. Remember, when you jump before CVC is announced, you don't score in that CVC. But you can join again as soon as CVC is announced because it's already been announced. Your influence hasn't counted. You're not actually having to wait 3 days or something silly like that. Just jump before it's announced and you jump back in after it's announced, okay? And Plarium can go do one if they think that's against the rules, because as long as it's possible, it's not against the rules. They have sent silly messages out to people for trying to influence the influence, and I'm like, well, hello, can I jump? Can I jump back? Yes, I can. Then it's not against the rules. So you can send them to me if you get any nasty. But I don't think they'll. I think they've sorted that out. I think it was a misunderstanding by support, etc. And some people were trying to do it like jumping at the last minute before the announcement to see if they could still score. That's manipulation. I'm talking about jumping out an hour before, jumping back in an hour after. 24 hours after. 24. So you've got a 24-hour thing, but you can jump in that after that 24 hours. That's what Thorn said. Bye everybody. Oh, I can't leave. And he's been playing forever. So yeah, it's a big decision. It's something we're going to have to talk about, and you can decide for yourself how you're going to play. Of course you can, but don't think you can play without impacting the clan. It doesn't work like that. We keep a score of what people score, and if people didn't score anything last week, great, because we were asked to keep it down. Yeah, curb your enthusiasm, and everybody mostly did that.
Well,
If
we're
people are
supposed to
told
have 0, but we didn't get 0, did we?
if people, it's best not to get. By the way, it's actually best not to go for 0, because the very, very disciplined clans who are doing the same get 0 because they're very disciplined, and the next week you meet them and they're not doing 0 this week. So having a few points isn't bad. You just don't want to go mad. Okay, so scoring a little bit isn't a problem. Going nuts with your training, etc., is a problem. And there were people who really stayed in the clan, wanted to train, and they stayed up till 1 o'clock in the morning so they could train after CVC ended. Now that's commitment to the clan, okay? And that's the sort of thoughts you have to have in your head, not just my game, but the clan. How does it impact the clan? And after that, how does it impact the kingdom? Because we've got enough fat forts. There you are, fat forts in the kingdom who don't think like that. They just, I want to develop, I want to be big. And they're never going to be big enough to do what they think they want to do. They're just fat. Oh dear. Anyway, that's my thoughts on the matter. Oh, I've just got a message from somebody. Who is it? I have no idea. Okay, any questions about anything else or something that I've covered this evening? And remember, I might be chief, but I'm not king. I'm not queen. I'm not saying this is how it is. I'm saying this is how I see it. And if you disagree, you are allowed to disagree, but you have to disagree with other people you have to have other people that disagree who will support you in your argument. But otherwise, all I'm going to do is be fighting. Yeah, but otherwise, I'm going to be fighting Aussie all the time. Other people have got opinions too. Please express them.
You know something, boss? You've been living in Germany far too long.
Don't go there. Okay, so anything else? Or shall we stop there? I feel like I've talked I think I have talked for the whole time. Come on, guys. It's you and me, Aussie. It's the Aussie and Engels show. The Aussie and Engels show.
I'd like to give a little explanation.
Oh, what? Wait, oh.
Okay, this is the way you should look at Engels being chief. Okay.
Oh God! Shall I leave?
This comes from Sun Tzus. Okay. The chief is basically the sovereign of the state. That is how you look at the chief. But we are the generals. We are the generals on the ground out there, and we know what we can and can't do personally with our towns, what we're capable of. The boss might give you an instruction that is needed, but we still have to figure out how we're going to complete that instruction to get the desired result. So basically, you are still the intelligence for everything out there that you have to pass back to the chief for good decisions to be made. This is why it is up to us to be able to tell the chief what's going on, and communication in that is, as she said, so important.
Thank you. Yeah, that I couldn't put that better than Sun Tzu. The art of war. Okay. Yeah, and sometimes that is very lacking, I'm afraid. And it's not just our clan, it's every clan. They get used to being told what to do as smaller players, and then they neglect to develop to know what to suggest to do when they become bigger players. And it is partly the game's fault. It turns everybody into little Viking babies who don't move, who don't drop shield, who don't speak up, kind of thing. And some of it's like being in I said the other day, it's like playing with Plarium's like being in an abusive relationship. They'll tell you it's the sun when you know it's the moon, but eventually, for a quiet life, you'll say, yes, it's the moon, whatever you say. It's whatever you say it is. Okay. Thank you, Smeg. Anything else? Well, again, also keep an eye on what's going on in the overall world of Vikings, because it is worth having your ear to the ground a bit and getting ahead on things like when packs are coming, etc. And if you're waiting for packs, as I said, it's Black Friday coming up. That said, Thanksgiving is also coming up, so I was not impressed with last year's Black Friday or the year before. Maybe they'll surprise me this time, but don't buy out of desperation. You know, Thanksgiving's coming, and then Christmas, and Christmas is generally good. So it's like the marshmallow test. You want to eat all your marshmallows now, or do you want to wait a bit and have more marshmallows later? But again, I'm not going to tell you to buy packs. I'm not going to tell you what packs to buy. I'm not going to tell you to buy town skins. I'm not going to tell you what town skins to buy. I can help you developing your account with things like achievements, etc. But other than that, helping you is not telling you, okay?
Do my dragon rings for me, please.
Yeah, I said help you to
Oh,
do
thank
achievements.
you.
Yeah, yeah, that's not
I
going to
need
work, is it?
700.
Oh God, do them bit by bit. I did help you because I told you
I
don't try and do
know, I
them all
know,
at
I
once.
know.
I'm still doing them on mini parp. He's doing 10 at a time, and eventually he'll get it, because life is too short to sit and make 700 dragon rings and then delete them if you don't need to straight away. I mean, if you're desperate for the gold, go for it. If you've got the diamonds and the elixir, do it. Use a clicker if you've got one. The auto clicker argument came up again. What is it with people? Oh, you get banned for using an auto clicker. No, you don't get banned for using an auto clicker. You get banned if you use an auto clicker to try to spam people. You get banned if you use an auto clicker to try to cause lag in the game. But this game could not be run without auto clickers. It can't. You look at how many clicks you've got to do to get these blooming clan task competition. You've got to be superhuman. They might be bringing in 1,000 clicks at a time, boof, which would make sense. And Plarium, really, if you want to stop the lag, can we get rid of some of these blooming clicks, please? It can't be good for anybody's game. Just let me take a number and shove it into the stronghold. Why do I have to have tiny little wagons going backwards and forwards and backwards and forwards? I have an amount. I
Yeah.
want that in the stronghold. Click. Yes, it's going to take 4 hours. I can boost it or not. These little wagons, what a pile of poop. I mean, after the first time you've seen it, oh, look, it's little wagons. That's it. You know, after that, it's like, well, can I just send the stuff now, please?
Yes,
that
it
you get-
should be made something like this. You need to hit this Uber, and it should be make not with one hit, or with I don't know how, with 10 or 20, like we always do, and it should be made by Plarium. This bottom, which it will be automatically. It's
Yeah.
not
Well, I've
me,
asked,
because I don't know what's the matter.
I have asked Plar. Well, they would say you can one hit it, but then that uses up all your hero energy. I have asked Plarium that, given the nature of the game now, they actually build in a clicker, so that everybody has the same clicker.
They should
They
build
should.
in.
Yep.
They should do this.
Yep. I know. Whether they ever will, I don't know. I mean, let's face it, they haven't even got a chat that works, so what's the chance of a clicker that works? I think they're worried about like misclicks. And if you misclick and you spend gold accidentally, that kind of thing, which can happen when you use, or you train up 10 million troops instead of 1 million troops, they might get a lot of support requests to reverse what the clicker did. People will blame mistakes on the clicker. So I can understand why that, but they could at least recommend a clicker. or show people how to set it up, etc. I mean, I use a clicker, and I've used one ever since I figured out it wasn't against the rules of the game. What's against the rules of the game is misusing a clicker or using one of these bots that actually gets into the code of the game. Clickers are for your sanity. But you can't trust them. You have to keep an eye on. Don't just walk away from your computer while your clicker's running, because lag
Where do you
can
get
then
them from?
mean you have to download. This is the other thing that I don't like what Plarium's done. They're making people download software that might be a bit dodgy. So you have to be very careful what clicker you use, because a clicker is giving control of your computer to a program. Okay, and you've got to go to a
I
trustworthy
don't like the idea of
source.
that.
I know, that's the problem. That's the problem. There are clickers that you can program yourself, but then that's down to people knowing how to program that kind of thing. So it's a tricky one. It's a tricky one. I use one. I've used it for a long time. I've never had any problems, but I'm always loath to tell people because it's no longer fully supported, etc. And it's like, do I tell people to download this from this website? It's I don't know. I don't know what your security's like. I don't know what kind of antivirus program you've got, whether you'd be exposing yourself to something dodgy. However, there are people who will advise you and who will tell you what they use. So go by what people use. Don't go just searching for auto clicker or mouse clicker or anything like that. Go by, recommendations. Okay. Nox, the emulator, has a very good inbuilt clicker, which shows you it can be done Plarium. So Plarium could inbuild a clicker into the Plarium program, into the Plarium browser, into their own browser. They could do it because Nox have done it. So, but anyway, that is up to them. I don't have the ear of Plarium. I just complain a lot. Okay. On that, I guess it's 10:30. If you're still up at 1:00, we are going to assess the start of Fury and then decide whether we go to bed or do something. So might see you at 1. I'm going to try and get some Zeds until then. Okay. So,
What are you going to do? Siege?
We don't know. It depends. Okay. If you read
Oh,
clan
see ya.
messages, if you read clan messages, you'll see that we're gonna.
I might see you there then.
Just if you're awake, have a look and see what we're doing. If anything, no promises. No promises. It depends who's
Okay.
there. It depends what event it is. Remember how Fury is. We don't know what the first event will be. And it will also depend on what RHSK is doing, etc., etc., etc. But I'll be there if I'm awake, and Zoms will be there. I think Kills will be there. Or Kill, you're very quiet, Kills. Are you actually listening, or are you just logged in and left it? He probably knows I'm recording.
Fried Mars bar.
Sorry, what's Meg?
He might be eating a deep fried Mars bar.
Really? I think they served those up on the, this COP26. I think they served them up. Iron Brew, deep fried Mars bar. But they deep fry everything in Edinburgh when I was living there. They deep fried pizza. You'd go to the fish and chip shop, they'd have pizza on the menu, and you'd order a pizza thinking it was going to come out of a stove. No, they get the frozen pizza and they dump it into the deep fat fryer.
Tastes amazing.
You are alive.
And I would like to put the record straight that I have never eaten a battered Mars bar.
No.
Any
They're like-
normal
What are you gonna
person
say?
They're like
hasn't.
4,000 calories.
I know, it's disgusting. But I've heard they're very nice. I've never, but the first time I saw them deep fry my pizza, well, honestly, I don't know how I stayed in that shop. I really don't. I nearly ran away. I thought, okay, I'm going to have to buy it and then I'm going to have to eat it because I'm hungry. And it didn't taste bad, actually, but it must have been
They're nice.
so unhealthy.
Oh, yeah, massively.
Absolutely. And it's such a shock when you first see it. Frozen pizza? Oh, that's going to take a while. No, takes a couple of seconds because it goes dunk into the deep fat fryer. Jeez. But I never developed a taste for iron brew, I have to say. It's pretty disgusting. Sorry, Scotland. The national drink, gimme whiskey. All right, take care, everybody. If there's no more questions, I'm going to slope off and try and catch some Zeds. See you later.
Bye.
Thanks for coming. Bye bye.